Hello, and welcome to Downtown for the first episode in this new Let's Play series. And I am so ready to get started with this. I've been really looking forward to it, and I'm so happy that I finally finished enough houses to place down families and start playing. So the ones that I've done already are down here, the more cheaper apartments for rent. Then we have the townhouses for rent here as well, a little bit more expensive. We have the high-rise building up there. And then, of course, the most recent House of Fallen Trees down there. So that was what I renovated most recently. And ever since I did that, I have been sick. So I apologize in advance if my voice sounds strange. I hope not. I hope it's good enough now because I really want to get started with this. And my plan for this first episode isn't that mapped out because I don't know what family I'm going to be playing with. I actually wanted to randomize it and see what family I end up with. So I'm going to get started with that. I know that I'm not going to pick 3 of the families. One of them being the Ninja family or the Tricot family, because they're already on the map, and I think I'm gonna probably finish with them in the round. Then I'm not really ready to play with the Diva yet. I have big plans for her after all, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna execute it, so I'm gonna wait a little bit with her. And then I also want to wait with these guys, the Anderson twins, because I also have some vague idea of what I want to do with them, but I also don't know exactly how to execute it, so I'm going to hold off with them. And that leaves, I think it was 17 families I can pick from. I'm just going to count it one more time so I don't misremember. Yeah, exactly, 17. So I'm going to bring up random.org, and I'm going to go 1 through 17. I want 1. Okay, the 7th family is gonna be the one. So let's see. Okay, so it is the Phelps sisters that I'm gonna start with. All right. And as you might have noticed, most of the families have a 0 amount in cash. That's something I'm gonna have to fix before I start playing them. It is a result of moving them out of the household I used for making them playable. But yeah, I think the Phelps sisters are gonna live in the more cheaper apartments down here. That's sort of the idea I have for them. And yeah, they shouldn't have much money at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably start by giving them like 10,000 simoleons or something so that they can move in. Then, or maybe I don't even need to give them that. I can give them like, what is the value of this? Yeah, I think I can give them like 5,000. And then once I plop them down, I can take out loans for them on Monique's computer. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with family funds. Good. And that gives them 5,000 simoleons. Next step then is to decide which apartment to move them into. Trying to remember what the apartments looked like in this. I know that not all of them have 4 to pick from. I think that this is the only one with 4. I think I'm actually gonna just take a look at the pictures I have of these houses and decide which one to pick. Okay, so after taking a look at the different houses, it appears that these 2 houses have the smaller apartments because these are so far out the back that it actually fits in quite a lot of rooms in each apartment. This one actually has 2 level apartments, so that's also a little bit bigger, but this one has the smaller ones, and I think I'm going to go with that one for this family. So yeah, I'm going to move them in. And here's the apartment. So I'm actually gonna start by checking out which apartment I want them to get. This is the one with 2 separate rooms, but there's no attached parking space. So if I want them to have a car, that's not gonna work. It's also gonna be longer to walk up and down the stairs to this one. And then this one only has 1 pretty small room, but it has an attached parking spot. This one has a bit bigger of a room, so that could work, but they would have to share this one instead of having 1 room each. But they would also have a backyard in that case. So that could be interesting. For some reason, there's some sort of lighting glitch on this part of the wall. I'm hoping that will disappear eventually. Don't know what's happened there. I don't know what their hobbies are. I wonder, can I plop down a sim blender to check that? I am suspecting no. No, I'm not going to be able until I actually pick an apartment, so I can't do that. All right. I think that this one goes out because of the small room. I think it's going to have to be a single sim here, or a couple, possibly. You know what? Let's go with this one, the bottom apartment, because I'm also a little bit anxious to try out the parking slot, how it works. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with that one, and yeah, they're gonna have a little backyard kind of situation here. So let's hope they have hobbies that that they're gonna be interested in that. Yeah, so I think that's one of the more expensive ones. Yeah, it is the most expensive one actually. Yeah, but I'm gonna do that. So let's rent this apartment. Yes. So she's taking care of that, and I can take that opportunity to put down the sim blender. I'm also gonna have to put down a desk, to put down a Monique's computer, so that I can take out a loan for them as well. Yeah, and it's gonna have to be on Trista's account, so I'm gonna wait with that. But we can start with setting up the hood, now that I remember it, because I want to randomize everyone's sexual preference. So I'm gonna start with the sim blender, is what I'm using for that. And I'm gonna go to traits, hood, gender preference. And what I've learned the hard way is that by default, the sim blender has a 0% bi and a 0% gay. So if I randomize now, everyone's going to be straight. So I'm going to have to adjust the bi. Maybe I can do that with Lakshmi. Traits, food, gender preference, adjust bi. And then it's going to be this bi food interaction. But I'm going to keep it pretty low, because I think that out of a population, the percentage of bi and gay people is pretty low. So I'm going to reflect that in this as well. I'm going to keep that pretty low. And then I can also check then I have to go back to the gender preference and then run randomizer. And since it's the first time I do this in this neighborhood, I'm going to go with the whole hood. I could also pick only the sims with no preference. That would like fill out the blanks if you have some newly generated sims who haven't received any, or new teenagers or something. Or I could only go with townies and NPCs. That's also possible. But I'm going to go with the whole hood. And this is an option if you want the gender preference to be low or high. And that is, I think if it's high, it's going to be fixed. So it's going to remain mostly. But if it's low, it can fluctuate. Something like that. But I'm going to go with high. That's what I always do. So now the whole neighborhood has a randomized gender preference. And if I go back to traits, I can check the hood consensus. And that's going to give me this dialogue pop up. So I have 7% gay sims, 10% bi sims, and 78% straight. So I think that's pretty good. Apparently we have 355 sims in this neighborhood. That's pretty much. So that's how I do that. So I can start by checking out Lakshmi's traits here. So she got straight, and her hobby is games, apparently. Something that I have been considering for this new neighborhood is that I'm considering randomizing the hobbies. Because what I've learned from playing Pleasant You is that the hobbies are very tightly connected to the aspirations. And the aspirations is very tightly connected to the star signs, which means that if they are a certain star sign, they are very likely to be a certain, or there will be a certain aspiration, and then they are more likely to have a certain hobby. And that creates very similar sims down the line, especially if you have a lot of sims in the neighborhood, which can become a bit boring, I think. So I think in downtown, I might end up randomizing the aspirations eventually instead of picking depending on star sign. I'm gonna see how I do that. But for sure, I'm gonna want to randomize the hobbies as well. Because Lakshmi is a romance sim and she has games, and that's very, very common. Games and arts and crafts are the two ones I see most often for romance sims. So yeah, I want to randomize that. So I'm gonna go to traits, Lakshmi, hobbies, randomize. I'm just gonna do that once. And the one that she randomized to, I'm gonna keep. So let's see. She got art. So if I do this, I think it's gonna change. Yeah. So it's arts and crafts for her. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Trista. So right now she has science, and that's also very tightly connected to the knowledge aspiration. I see often science or tinkering. No, wait, that's family. I think it's science and one other. It could be film and literature, maybe. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm gonna randomize that as well. And she got tinkering. All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'm also gonna check her gender preference. Okay, so she's also straight. So both of them turned out straight. And that's the setup for that. I'm gonna just have her finish signing the lease. Great. And I'm gonna start filling out my spreadsheet. So here's this one. And if you want this spreadsheet, I can share an empty version of it in the description box below. Because, yeah, I have it set up, I think, almost exactly like this. And it's available for download. So it's the Phelps family. So it's these two. So Lakshmi is the first one here. She's single. And she's straight. And her hobby is arts and crafts. I think I'm gonna leave the religion blank for now because I don't even have a church. So I think I'm gonna just wait with that until I have one set up. Then Trista is also single. She's also straight. And her hobby is tinkering. Great. All right, so then the next step for Trista at least is to look at her secondary aspiration. And I'm going to randomize this by rolling a die. So I have a D6 here on hand that I can use. And I don't want the grilled cheese aspiration. It's just too gimmicky for me. And I think I tried it once. And they only roll once for grilled cheese. So yeah, I'm gonna roll the die and see what comes up. Became a 1. So I'm gonna start by the one that's grayed out because that's her primary, and then go 1. So that is romance for her. I'm going clockwise like this. So that's gonna be her secondary aspiration. And since I'm gonna slow down the time, I'm gonna want to take all the benefits from the need tree. So that's what she's gonna start with. And for Lakshmi, she's still a teenager, so I'm not gonna pick a secondary aspiration for her, but I'm gonna give her the need things. That's actually turning out a bit interesting because Lakshmi's older sister has the secondary aspiration that's the same that her primary is. So let's see what she ends up with eventually. Perfect. I'm going to write that down for Trista as well in the spreadsheet that her secondary is romance. And then I'm also going to take a look at her lifetime wish is currently to become a criminal mastermind. But I think I want to randomize this as well in some way. I do have this lifetime want chooser by Lamar. Yeah, and I can re-roll the lifetime want. And I'm assuming that that will now also include the secondary aspiration. So let's see what I get if I re-roll. Yeah, okay, yeah, it did become that. Okay, so she got the very aggressive romantic one. All right, yeah, let's roll with it. So I'm gonna put that down also in my spreadsheet. Okay, so that didn't tell me anything at all about what career she wants. So, okay, so yeah, she's not gonna be a business tycoon straight off the bat, of course not. And she actually also has quite a lot of skills. I mean, she could be skilled, of course, but this seems a bit excessive for her age. Now, she is a knowledge sim. And I mean, sitting through my current school system, they do develop quite a lot of logic skill, I have to admit, as well as creativity. The charisma one, though, is not that realistic, I think, especially since she's also shy. So I'm gonna bring down the charisma one. She can have 2 points. And since I have the bool prop testing sheets enabled through sheet on in my user startup file, I'm gonna be able to drag this up and down at will, same way that I can drag up and down the needs at will as well. But if you write it down in the actual house you're playing in, you're gonna have to reload the lot for it to actually work like that. So that's why I can do things like this. But yeah, I think I'm fine with this. And I mean, she could still be employed in the business career. That's fine. But I'm gonna bring down her level. Set level 1, I think, is far more realistic. Yeah, so this salary is also far more realistic for delivering conditions as well. But then the question is like, what is her dreams for the future? That's gonna be super difficult to come up with, just like taking everything in. But on the other hand, I'm gonna have to pick a major for her. So I might just look at her interests. In my experience, these aren't always that reliable. But I mean, maybe it can give me some idea. It says she's very interested in crime, which is interesting because she had the, the lifetime wish to become a criminal. And weather work. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I think that maths is good for criminal career. There's actually a web page that I usually use to check like what careers are attached to what majors. I'm gonna bring that one up because I think that's gonna help me. Yeah, this is the one. I can link to this as well if you want to have a look at it. But okay, so it's actually literature as well. Interesting. Yeah, and mathematics. But that's also like science and things that goes with the knowledge aspiration. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with mathematics for her then. Because I think that would make sense also with her primary aspiration. Let's go with that. So I'm gonna take out the bat box. Go to upgrade sim, pre-uni, and then I'm gonna pick math. And I'm gonna write that down also in my spreadsheet. And then she's in the business career. And she was a mailroom technician, I think. Yes. Okay, yeah, great. So I'm also gonna try to consider their ages. Actually, now I realize that I was supposed to put in the age fix mod before I started this. You know what? I'm actually going to pop out of the game and put that in, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. And well, what this mod is going to do is that it's going to start running when I hit play and re-age everyone according to my aging mods. So if I just hit play. No, it wasn't that one. I have to wait for it. I think it takes it a little bit to actually work. Yes, age check has checked and repaired everyone in Driftwood. And that is the neighborhood that I have downtown in. So now instead of 15, oh, I maybe have to do it like this. Yes, maybe instead of 15, now she has 7 days left. Good. And instead of 29, she has 35 days. And the version of this mod that I have, I'm technically not supposed, I'm technically not having to remove out of my downloads folder. That's the way it's built. I think it's by Lazy Duchess, I'm pretty sure. But I think I added it in a period when I had some random crashing issues and I ended up removing it. That's why I didn't have it anymore. But yeah, technically I'm not, I don't have to remove it anymore now. It can still sit in my downloads folder. Whereas the old version of it, you actually had to remove after using it. Right, so that means that the ages are correct. But what I am also thinking about is if I actually want Lakshmi to be this young, because they are sisters, and Trista has been living through the university stage as well, which is about 8 to 9 sim days, which is years in my playthrough, and then adding in as well 7 extra. That's quite a lot. Quite a big age difference. But I also want to have the chance to play Lakshmi as a teenager for a little bit before I am forced to add in a university to downtown. I think I'm gonna give her 4 days left instead of 7 days. That's better at least, because I was thinking that this episode, or well, the initial episodes before I have set everything up properly, I probably want to play 2 or 3 days just to get to know the Sims a bit. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give her 4. So I'm gonna use the Sim Blender again and go to aging, 3 days older, Lakshmi. And then she has 4 days left as a teenager. That's gonna work better at least, I think. But it's still gonna be quite a big age difference between them. So I'm starting to get an idea about them. But I also want to give them makeovers. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna start with Trista. I'm gonna go to Gussy Up, change appearance. Right, so she has braids and a cowboy hat to start out. I don't think I have a good hairstyle with a hat, so that's gonna go away, but I can reimagine the braids in some way, I think. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a hairstyle that's like similar. Yeah, this is very intense. Quite a lot of hair. Maybe that one. I also have a side braid. Could also go with this. Oh no, this is actual braids, so that's not gonna work. Yeah, this. That looks very young though. That's something I would probably give like a child or a teenager. So no, probably not that one. That one could work. And I've got this, of course. That also looks quite young, I think. Well, braids are always gonna look young on the other hand. Got this. That looks better, I think. I think I'm gonna go with this, but I don't think I want her to have this for every outfit though. So I'm gonna see about formal. It is pretty long hair down to her chest. And no bangs. I'm gonna have to have something that matches that. No, I don't think that one. No, I don't think this one either. That's too short. I think that might be too long. I think that might also be too long. No, too fancy. Yeah, I think I might go with this one. I think that could suit her personality pretty well. Let's go with that one. And then, yeah, I think I might just go with something that's just loose hanging for this outfit. No, that's too short. Too short and too curly, I think too. I think that's probably too long. That could work, I think. Now this might actually be a pretty good alternative because this is like messy. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's fine to go with that. And then I'm gonna have to use the same one for the PJs. Unless I want to use like this. Maybe that's better actually, but it has bangs. Let's go with that. And well, swimming. Okay, so like 7 years later, I think I was looking for something like this, because then I can also use the same thing for her athletic outfit. That one? No, it's not that one. Yeah, there it is. Good. And then for the outerwear, I think she can have this. That should be fine. Nice. Then let's move on to the makeup. So right now she just has eyeliner. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it pretty neutral like this. And I think her eyebrows suit her. So she can keep those as well. Yeah, so let's accept this one. There we go. And I'm also going to give her new clothes. So I'm going to go again to Gussy Up, buy clothes, everything. So I've decided to start out in spring for this neighborhood because I feel like we played in autumn. Well, we have played in autumn in Pleasant View ever since I started it. So I think it's time for something different. So I'm going to have spring moving up to summer. So I can have that because now we're in like autumn moving up to winter in Pleasant View. So I can have something different. So I'm gonna pick out clothes that are not too cold, but yeah, more spring feeling to them, I suppose. Right now she has a sort of tied up shirt, so she could have something like this, That would be pretty similar to what she currently has. Could also go with something like this, I suppose. Yeah, I think this would suit her really well. So I'm gonna pick that one. And then what pants? I think since she's wearing a skirt, she could just have bare legs and trainers or something. That would work. Yeah, let's go with that for her. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. I think something like that might work for her. Yeah, so I ended up going with sort of like a pink theme for her. But I think I took inspiration from the shirt that she was wearing from the start. So I'm just gonna go gussy up, change into everyday. So she's back in her everyday outfit. And then actually, Lakshmi also has a braids. So I think I might go with something similar for her. But yeah, let's do the same thing for her little sister. I think I might go with this one then for her instead, since I decided that was more younger looking. But I probably want to look into different hairstyles for her as well. This one is about the same length, I think. Yeah, she can wear that for her swimwear and her athletic wear as well, I think. That works. Yeah. Then let's move to the makeup. So it's pretty intense for her. Gonna bring it down. Okay, so she has very prominent eyelashes apparently. All right. Yeah, I think I'm staying away from the eyeliner then because I think it makes it look very intense for her. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, that works. And how about the eyebrows? I think these ones look the best out of the default ones. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that. And let's also do a buy clothes everything. Okay, so she had a pink shirt and jeans. Might go with this, I suppose. I think short sleeves might be too cold still. Unless I want something like this, but that's more purple. Also got stuff like this, but I think this is more like winter theme. Even if it's gonna be a bit cold at the start, I think this is more like autumn, winter. Yeah, this is definitely winter. Could go with something like this, but I think this looks too expensive in some way. Oh yeah, I think I used to have a Meadow Thayer in this when she was a teenager. It's pretty intense. It could work. I think this is too cold right now, but it could have worked as well. If I go with that, what pants could I use? I mean, yeah, that looks pretty much like what she had. Let's go with those. I'm gonna go with a pink theme for her as well, but it looks like she might have already had a pink theme going on. So that's fine. Nice, and then I can go to Gussy Up, change into Everyday again. Nice. There we have the sisters, and I am going to cheat the both of them cell phones because I want all my Sims to have cell phones. I'm gonna shift click with the bool prop testing sheet enable true cheat on, and I'm gonna pick cell phone, give cell phone. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Trista as well. And that gives them a cell phone in the inventory. Nice. right? So I'm actually also gonna go and save because just in case there's a great game crash, I don't want to miss this progress. Good. So now I'm also gonna take care of the season. So I said I wanted it to be spring, so that is actually the 4th season on this. I'm gonna set season 4, and it's gonna have automatically 5 days left in spring, and that's what I want. So I'm gonna keep that. Yeah, I think the only thing left now, just gonna see. Oh, she actually also has a job already. She's a nursing home attendant. She can keep that. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm gonna just write that down also in the spreadsheet that she actually has a job. Nice. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove these. Don't need them anymore. And I'm gonna have Trista take out a loan. So I'm gonna go to Bank Online on Monique's computer. I'm gonna loan, I think 25. Might not be that they need that, but I also want to get them a car, and that's gonna be more expensive. So, but yeah, but I also wanted to check the time. So I probably want to set it to a bit earlier because now it's gonna be 9, and that's when their work and school starts. So I'm gonna set hour 8. That should mean that the school bus is gonna roll up here and bring Lakshmi with to school. Yeah, here it is. And also the carpool is here actually, so I'm gonna cancel that interaction out because I want her to drive in her car instead. Good. So now we have the loan. We have more money to work with. And I can have stop that and have her walk out there, so I have everything to work with here. Great. And then I am going to buy them furniture and furnish this apartment. So starting out with decorating, I decided to go first with the bedroom. It seemed like a good place to start. It is always interesting when you just start out playing a family before you have gotten to know them, to try to furnish what their house should look like. And I didn't have a lot to go off of here, but I had an idea that they liked, pastel colors and like girly themes, like flowers and pink and those kinds of things. That was the vibe I got from them from the start. But I also tried to be a little bit rough with it. Something that I have come to realize playing a lot of families in a huge neighborhood is that trying to be not very detailed or trying to be a little bit sloppy with it is often a good idea for making a quick renovation, but also in order to make things seem more lived in and homey. Like things aren't completely symmetrical, things aren't completely thought out and polished. That actually makes it seem more like a realistic house that they would be living in. So yeah, that was what I tried to do here. Like I have a lot of swatches of carpets and beddings and things like that to pick from, but just making a quick decision and going with it often turns out to be the more realistic version, I suppose you could say. And I decided to put in a lot of decoration like this that makes it more homey, no bags and those kinds of things. And that was the bedroom. And they're not gonna be sharing that room for very long, since Lakshmi isn't gonna be a teenager for very long. But yeah, it's very easily gonna be able to be converted into a bedroom for Trista later. And I suppose that I'm gonna put in a double bed or something like that once her little sister has moved out. And then I've moved on to the big room. And it's a very open space apartment, so this room is gonna contain like everything else except the bathroom, of course. And I decided to recolor the walls white instead of that sort of teal color that it was from the start. And I just thought it suited this family better, even though I really liked the way that it looked. I think it made it feel completely different. And it's interesting with color theory and things like that, because I think it was very visible in this apartment specifically that as soon as the walls became white, the whole space appears to be bigger. That's just really, an illusion of colors, I suppose. And I was forced to make a very small kitchen because the size of the apartment is so small. So I decided to put up a microwave on the shelf, and I used a bunch of different kitchen OMSPs in this to make that work. And I also put in an additional kitchen space so that they can like put serving dishes and things on that. And I actually made a video about the OMSPs that I use recently. If you're interested in learning more about them, they're up on my channel. I think that they are in the tutorials playlist. And this little 3x4 nook had to become the living room. So a very tight space again. And I tried to keep their hobbies in mind as I did this. Both of them being having very distinct hobbies. Like I needed to put in something for Lakshmi to do with arts and crafts, but then of course I had more trouble trying to figure out something for Trista with the tinkering things. Because I think I will have to try to figure out something more for my tinkering sims to do, because there tends to be a lot of sims with that hobby. And I mostly use either the toy making station or the fixer-upper car for that hobby, but I don't feel like that's enough. I have been looking into maybe a woodworking station and things like that, but I think that I'm gonna have to go in and see what more things I can find as for custom content, because it's just not enough. So I actually didn't end up putting in anything tinkering related for Trista in this apartment in the end. But there's plenty of bookshelves, and she's a knowledge sim, so I think that that makes sense for her to have that. And I actually ended up making a sort of decorative bookshelf unit with the only usable objects in that whole bookshelf space that I have there are the books to the top left. Those are actually like a small bookcase that they can pick out books from and read. And then also the stereo. That's an actual stereo. Everything else is decoration. Some shoes by the door, always a nice touch for immersion, I think. And I put in the computer in a very awkward place, but I think that that's the only place where I could have put it, so it just had to be like that. And I also decorated the garden. Decided to try to put up the things that would obstruct the view into the apartment a bit. Some ivy covering this. This is a fence technically, but I suppose it's supposed to be some sort of. Is it called a trellis? Oh well, that's what it is now anyway. Something that gives a little bit more privacy, so people don't just have a clear view into their yard. And something that I really wanted to have here as well were some sort of string lights. And I have this. That's technically a wall. No, not a wall. A ceiling light. That's sort of like glass jars with lights in it. And then I decided to put in a pickup truck. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. And that actually also left quite a bit of money for them after I had done everything. So I think I'm gonna pay back 10,000 simoleons as well, so that they don't have more debts than they need. I'm gonna go back to, let's see here, bank online, pay loan 10,000. And I'm also gonna give Trista this car. So now that's hers. Good, so now she has 15,000 in debt. That is fine. And, oh yeah, before I forget, also I need a time control clock. I always tend to forget that, but I always want it. So where should I put it? I think maybe on this. Yeah, perfect. So slow speed to 50%. Perfect. And what do you want? A telescope. I mean, we could give you that because your science hobby is pretty high already. She has a membership in that one, even if her one true one is tinkering. But I think she's going to have a difficult time realizing that, at least at first. I'm going to have to think about what kind of hobby, well, what she can do with tinkering. She could, of course, like do this very risky tinker with the TV, tinker with the, apparently not with the tub. Can she tinker with this? No. So the only thing right now she can tinker with is the microwave and the TV. And she doesn't have that much mechanical, so I think that might be too risky. But she does have a lot in science, so I can actually go and buy her one of these cheaper telescopes here. And let's put it here somewhere, like in the middle of the bushes. Something like that can work. Then I actually can utilize the yard more than I had. So that's good. She also wants to have her first woohoo, which makes sense because she's secondary romance now. But yeah, I'm gonna send her to work. And I'm just trying to think about the job stopinator. Being level 1, I think one promotion would be all right, possibly, if she does get promoted, which I think is pretty likely. She's in a pretty good mood after all as well, so I'm not going to give her one this time, but let's see if she gets promoted, then I might put it in. Great, so that worked perfectly. Awesome. And yeah, just going to speed through until they come back. Right, and Mr. Humble, I'm just going to delete this. Okay, good. So we have Lakshmi back from school. She has a C+ right now. But I don't think that, yeah, her grades is the first priority on her mind. She had the day off from work today, so that's fine. She wants to do something fun, and she has a lot of wants to be romantic with other Sims and hang out, but I don't have that ready yet before I move more Sims in. And of course, when I start playing with the high school, which is going to be after the first set of rotations, or after the first rotation, that is, I mean. So right now, she doesn't have much luck in that department. So I am going to focus on her hobby, I think, because she has arts and crafts, and I think she wants to develop that more than she wants to work on her homework. She has pretty high skill in creativity already, which makes sense, I think. So I'm just gonna set her up for painting. And yeah, why not paint still life on a normal canvas? We could take a nice photo here, maybe of this bookshelf. gonna zoom out with the X button. Go down with Q. We zoom with Z one time. Take the photo with C. She should start up with that. And she learned that she was excited about this. Right. So these girls have some sort of sad history with their parents, possibly. I'm assuming that, seeing as they are on their own, and for some reason Trista is taking care of Lakshmi. So I'm guessing that well, of course their parents aren't in the picture for some reason. Looking into her interests, she also is into work and crime, but also fashion. This is interesting because I think that, yeah, both the sewing machine and the makeover chair are technically arts and crafts. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is arts and crafts. Where is the makeover chair? That's weird. Is it like in chairs? Yeah, it was in chairs. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, this could be interesting for her. Maybe she wants to go into like cosmetology, but then again, she's also in the medical career right now, which makes me think about like plastic surgery. Since this is like a city where we have celebrities and things, maybe that would be interesting for her to go into as well. But I mean, being a stylist is also a thing. So, that's something to think about for her, I think. Either one of those could work well for her, I think. Because I don't think that she's gonna be an artist. That's not the vibe I'm getting from her. But I can definitely see her being a stylist. So maybe when she moves on to college, that's something to think about for her. I can even probably start to have her sit and study. Is it cosmetology? Let's see. Study badges. Cosmetology. Yeah. She could do that actually. Just out of interest, to develop a bronze badge eventually. And then during her college years, she could try to get up to silver at least, if that's what I want to go with. But I think that would actually suit her pretty well. It would be pretty cute to have like a college student in the dorms who actually has a chair and then gives out free makeovers to her college peers. That would be fun. Yeah. A basement makeover thing. Maybe piercings and things like that would be fun. I actually don't know if piercings is included in the cosmetology chair, if they actually have to buy piercings. But maybe I could like fake it with Gussy Up, because Gussy Up actually also has buy jewelry. So that could work as well. Something to think about at least. I feel like I'm developing an idea of Lakshmi's character. That's fun. Okay, and Trista got a promotion into executive assistant, so I'm gonna update that in the spreadsheet. So that is up to date as well. And she also has thoughts about romance, but then again, it's not gonna be possible for right now, I think. Okay, so technically she would be able to get promoted again next time because she has the charisma she needs. But I don't think that's what I want for her right now. She only just got a promotion. So I'm gonna take out this. And also a job outfit stopper knitter because I don't want her to wear a suit to work. She can wear her normal outfit, I think. And she only just ate as well, so she's not gonna cook dinner for the two of them, but Lakshmi needs to eat something, so I think she's gonna cook herself something small now, and then they can eat together later. So does she have any cooking skills? Just one. And she also just has one, so they're not very good at cooking, these two. Maybe do you just want to have like a cup of ramen maybe? And what should you do right now? You actually want to garden. That's interesting. I'm not gonna buy you a tree, but I mean, they do have a backyard, and I could get them some garden plots here since she does want that. Something like that. Sure. Let's go for it. So let's fertilize and plant some tomatoes then. Why not? So she's happy about her promotion. It's nice. And looks like she already had some enthusiasm in gardening, in nature. Okay, maybe, yeah, it was one of the lesser ones. She's thinking about gaining a skill point and stargazing, talking about hobby. She is good friends with her sister, but I think that I want to make them best friends forever if possible. It's going to take time, of course, but yeah, maintaining the relationship is going to be important. So plant many tomatoes then. Maybe that's her way of like trying to save money to actually grow some vegetables on her own. Now that she has a garden, at least. It's going to be possible. Right, so she's had her little lunch and she can use the toilet for now. Nice. All right then. She does have two neighbors out here, and looks like Lakshmi is already getting to know Joffrey not. But I think I'm also going to have Trista introduce herself. They did have some sort of attraction. Yeah, but not very much. I think there was another neighbor, but he's not out of his apartment right now. Oh, there he is. Yeah, let's go greet him as well. Looks like Lakshmi is arguing with him already. Interesting. What is her personality like? She's more on the grouchy side, so I think she's more likely to start arguing with, but she's very playful though, so in between shy and outgoing, so yeah, she didn't she didn't get along with him that well. Okay. She's starting to get a bit tired, and that's because of the time control clock, of course. But I think she could take a nap on the couch. Why not? Having some routing errors here. Oh yeah, he's on the landing in between levels, so that's why, I suppose. They should be able to at least greet each other. Oh, okay. I mean, they have 2 bolts of attraction, so that could be a potential fling, I suppose. They can at least chat for a bit. He's probably not gonna be staying here for very long, because when I move in, other families, of course, they're gonna take up the apartments. But he's still gonna be a townie. I have recently, well, in preparation for this Let's Play, I have put in a mod that makes the apartment residents be townies rather than only the apartment life social class townies. Oh, okay, they're blocking the way for poor Joffrey, who wants to go to his apartment. So let's see if I can have her go downstairs and maybe call Michael over instead. Call over. Let's see if this works. We're gonna have routing issues. Maybe I'll just move him. The easier solution. Yeah, let's just keep chatting for a bit. It looks like they're both into entertainment and culture. I'm pretty sure that there are those kinds of community lots in downtown, like art museums and stuff. There's a lot of community lots for me to renovate. But I'm gonna hold off for now because I want to start playing with the Sims first and then see what community lots to prioritize, because I want to start with the ones that I think that the most Sims wants to go visit. What? Trista wants to bring Neil Turneau home from work. Don't know what that means, but let's try with yes. I already have a job. If I take a new job, I lose the one I have. Is this like an offer for a job kind of thing? I guess I'm gonna take no then. Seems like that was not working well. Maybe it was some sort of adjustment for a mod that I have. I'm pretty sure I have a mod that makes the networking gifts less OP. It might be that. Yeah, I don't know. But let's talk about hobby. Oh, there's a lot to pick from here. Maybe she can tell him about her gardening plot here. That re-rolls some wants. She wants to go on a vacation, a Far East vacation. I don't think I want to add in vacation worlds for them right now, so I don't want to prioritize that. And again, with an orchard tree. I mean, she can flirt with him a bit, I suppose, but it's not going to be a lot of that. Oh, her body language tells me that she's shy. And I already had that, I think. Yeah. She's a shy sim. That's cute. She wants a classic dance with him specifically, but yeah. I think that's fine for now. So they have chatted a bit, but I think for just introducing yourself to your neighbors, I think that's fine for now. She needs to use the bathroom after all. And then possibly make coffee or something to get some more energy. Her energy is getting up there again. So that's good. I think that she can wake up. And she does have her homework to do as well. So maybe she can get some homework help from her sister after she's had some coffee. Right, and they've aged 1 day each. So that's 3 more days for her. Let's make coffee. She's thinking again about her promotion. I think that getting a higher salary and a better job is one of her priorities, mostly because she's taking care of her little sister, mainly right now. I think that's one of the things that she's, that's driving her right now, her profession. But I'm not sure that the business one is one that she's going to want to keep forever, because I don't think it's a perfect fit for her, really. It's a place to start, but in the long run, I'm not sure, actually. She's going to have another one, I think. And I'm not sure if I know like a career that would suit her perfectly the same way that I have for Lakshmi. The tinkering one is interesting, if that's something to develop, but also she has science She's very good in logic and creativity. I mean, I will eventually need to have Sims who work at the school. And I mean, being a teacher is something that I could consider for her, possibly, as well. Doesn't feel like a perfect fit, but could be worse. Okay, so her energy is much better now. And her fun is also much better. So I think that Trista is gonna offer to help her with her homework. And I have taken out the homework mod now as well. So she's actually also gonna learn how to study after this. Because in the past I had one that slowed that down significantly, but yeah, it didn't match very well with my aging system, so I took that out again. So it's gonna be the normal speed. She learned it. Perfect. Maybe that can actually, yeah, that gave her some points here, so she can take the last need benefit. What about you? No, you still have a ways to go. Okay. Great. And yeah, she's hungry again. And she could eat as well. So I think that Trista is gonna cook some dinner for them. And her fun is down again, so she can just continue painting for now. And what should you cook for dinner? I think I also don't want them to have too much leftovers. So I'm gonna take, yeah, where was it? Here it is. It is the variable meal server. Just looks like a fire alarm. Maybe I want it like there. And well, some leftovers is always good. So set number of servings to 4, I suppose. Then they have 1 serving of leftovers each, but they don't have a massive amount of leftovers. So let's serve up some spaghetti is a classic, so let's go with that. Oh, wow, she's really bad with a knife, looks like. Maybe her first skill to gain should be cooking, so she's a bit better with it. So you can come eat now. Right, so yeah, so looks like she's telling her about her promotion and yeah, possibly about her new salary. That's something that she will have to know. And they're talking about fashion. I think that suits Lakshmi a lot. And she wants to have her first kiss, so I'm gonna lock that in. Lakshmi isn't one of the teenagers who's related to John Smith, so she won't have that issue that many of the others have, that they are all related to one another. So her finding a boyfriend is actually a pretty high chance. So I'm gonna have that locked in for her. We're talking about kissing, so maybe she's having this on her mind and is asking about Trista's first kiss. Pretty sure that's gonna be the memory of the mystery sim. Yeah. Suppose that was in her teenage years or college years. I think she's saying that it was a classmate at any rate, so. Right, so Lakshmi is pretty tired, but I think that she might want to sit down at the computer and start to study cosmetology, just for a little bit before bed. Trista can put this away. Great. And I think that cooking that dinner and thinking about her cooking skills, I think that she's gonna want to sit down and continue reading up on recipes. So she's gonna study cooking for a bit. Yeah, so they are pretty calm and collected people, looks like to sit down and work on their own things. Of course, probably Lakshmi is more into hanging out with people. She's more outgoing after all and playful. So maybe after she's gotten to know more Sims her age, she's gonna have friends and possibly a boyfriend over, or go out on to community lots and hang out more than she would be at home, possibly. Of course, now that's not a possibility for her. Whereas Trista, I think, would prefer to stay at home like this. Maybe this calm evening together is more her idea of what the home life should be like. She's a bit active as well, so maybe she would like to do some sort of exercise as well. But Lakshmi is more lazy, so maybe she's not as much into it. But if Trista does have a activity that she does, maybe Lakshmi wants to join her, possibly. Yeah, so she's getting really tired, and I think it's about time for her to go to bed, so I'm gonna cancel that out. Just have used the bathroom one last time. So she's going to bed, and Trista has a very short amount left towards the cooking skill. See if she can reach it, or if she's gonna give up because she's too tired. I do have a mod that slows down the progress that they get from reading books about cooking, but then when they actually do cook, they get they gain the skill quicker. That is, so that's also why it's taking so long for her to learn this. Okay, so she wants to. Oh, yeah. Okay, now it was visible. For some reason, I couldn't see. She had 2 points in cooking, but now she does. And yeah, she wants to reach 3 points, so I can lock that in, I think. I'm not sure if I'm gonna prioritize it, but yeah, and she's just gonna head to bed as well. Great, and now that they're in bed, I'm always saving when all Sims have gone to bed, so that's just my routine for how I remember to save in between as well. I'm gonna keep going for another day. I think that 2 days is enough for the first rotation. But I want a little bit more time to actually get to know them before I move on. Apparently she gained enthusiasm for science in her sleep. All right, so it's morning and they need to start to get ready for school and for work. Okay, so in the middle of the night, Lakshmi has some new wands here. And I also didn't check this before, but right now she wants to become a professional party guest, which is pretty funny. She just wants to have fun and attend parties and get paid for it, I suppose. But that might change eventually. So now she wants to reach a level 8 in creativity. So it's very connected to her hobby, but I think I'm gonna prioritize the first kiss one for her anyway. So I think actually that I want Trista to wake up first and grab the shower first, and then she can also serve breakfast. Then, Lakshmi can sleep in a bit. It's interesting that Trista didn't make the bed, even though she's very neat. Maybe she was too tired. I'm sure she'll want to do that later. And I'm also going to change the number of servings to 2 instead, because I don't feel like she needs to make leftovers for the breakfast food. Good. And then she can, let's serve some, yogurt with fresh fruit. And now Lakshmi needs to also get up and have a shower. Oh, she re-rolled the wands now. Now she doesn't think about the skills at all. And I think that makes more sense for her, actually. I don't think that she would be into skilling just for the sake of it, like her sister is. That's not the vibe I'm getting. Yeah, how is the garden doing? Yeah, they're sickly, so I think that she's gonna have to tend her plants and water them as well after breakfast. Okay, she's done in the shower and she can also eat breakfast. Looks like they're very excited to get to know more people, and yeah, makes sense. Not a lot of people to get to know yet. They're talking about moving to a new apartment, I suppose. They have lived somewhere else very recently. I suppose Trista is just out of college, so maybe they have lived together in one of the college worlds, like Steam State University or something. They don't have obvious familial connections here after all, so it would make sense that they have only just recently moved to downtown. And of course, that would also explain why they don't know anyone, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that plot line. Yeah, you can go ahead and make the beds, I think, since Trista is busy with the garden. Actually, I think I didn't check for the talent badges. No, they don't have any. Okay, nice. Because sometimes townies have it from the start. But I don't know if it's gonna be like that for the downtownies. Maybe it's not. Good, so the school bus is here. Lakshmi is leaving. Trista is also gonna leave in a moment. Okay, yeah, so again, I'm gonna speed through this and we're gonna meet them up when they're back. Okay, so I actually have a chance card here. So Trista and a small group of co-workers have a side project they do during their lunch break. They are building a model rocket on the roof of the work building, and today's a launch day. Trista has also been experimenting with the fuel that Trista has been making by herself. Her fellow teammates are a bit skeptical about the idea. Should Trista add the experimental fuel or go with the generic one? I mean, she's into tinkering and science, so I think that she would definitely want to try out the fuel. So use the experimental fuel. Once everything is prepared, the group presses the launch button for liftoff. A large fireball explodes from the base of the rocket and causes flaming debris to shoot out all over the roof. A fire alarm goes off and everyone is forced to evacuate the building. The rocket group is then scolded by the managers and demoted. Oh no! Oh god, so she's demoted. It's not showing up now, but I suppose that that's gonna happen when she comes back from work. So she's back on 0 again. Nice. I'm not too sad about it because I'm not sure that she's gonna keep the business work anyway. So yeah, but it was a bit funny. Okay, so Lakshmi's back from school and she's very bored. So she's gonna start by looking for something fun. And she keeps getting this wand for a handheld game. And they do have the money for it, so I think that she's gonna buy that then, since she keeps thinking about it. So it's gonna be shop online. There it is. Electronic gadgets, buy handheld game. So I always give my Sims free cell phones, but the other things they're gonna have to buy. And yeah, why don't you play on your handheld game then? Oh yeah, play handheld. All right. Yeah, she's into games a bit as well, since that was the previous hobby that she had. But I think that the Sims often become more dynamic and interesting if they are engaging with other hobbies than their one true hobbies as well. Like have a secondary one true hobby, if you could say that. That actually makes Sims more interesting, in my opinion. So, as for example, Trista has technically the tinkering hobby, but she's also very much into science. And that's also adds a bit of depth, I think. Looks like the fun isn't going up very quickly with this, though. I wonder, is it possible to sit down and play? I don't think I've ever tried that. Oh, she needs to go to work. But I mean, if I take play handheld, it's going to be a separate interaction. So looks like she can't sit down and play. All right. Yeah, she's going to go to work as a nursing home attendant. And she's going to be back at 6 p.m. Right, so we have Trista back. And she actually wasn't demoted. Maybe that is because of the job stopinator. Maybe they can't be demoted either. That would make sense, actually. Yeah, so she's still at level 2. That's fine. But her management isn't very happy with her. And I don't think that she's very happy with her job either, technically. So, yeah. She's a bit tired after work, so I'm going to have her use the bathroom and nap for a bit. I think that is enough for her to nap. And also Lakshmi is back from work. Oh, have I put this in an awkward place? Isn't she able to get out of the car? Oh, okay. The game solved it for me, but yeah, apparently this particular place for the light is not a good one. All right, good to know. Yeah, so are you hungry? A bit hungry, but I think she wants to drink coffee first of all, so let's do that. And yeah, maybe it's not a cook dinner kind of night tonight. Maybe they want to order pizza, so I'm gonna do that. Delivery. Go with the pizza. And Trista can tend her garden. Yeah, and now Lakshmi only has 2 days left before she ages up. That's gonna be good, I think. And here comes the pizza delivery. Are you coming? No? Nice. Looks like she's sitting down at the computer eating. I can relate to that. Probably sitting watching some videos online or something as she eats. Living the good life. Looks like 1 slice was good enough for her for now. And she needs some more fun again. So I think she can paint for now. And she needs more pizza. Now it's her turn to sit at the computer. Nice. Question if I want to save this for later. I mean, I could put it in her inventory. So let's do that. So she has some more pizza to eat. And she has a benefit point. Nice. What I normally go with is this one, Life of Luxury, just so that they get more vacation days. That's actually going to pay off in the long run, I think. So that's good. All right. I mean, she keeps thinking about stargazing, and she did want to buy a telescope, so I'm gonna have her go and do that. She's starting to think about her neighbor, apparently. Maybe she wants to get to know him better after all. All right, and this is finished. I think I'm gonna put that in her inventory. Maybe she wants to have that in at her college dorm or something. I don't think that she's gonna want to work on the homework. I think that's not a priority for her right now. Maybe she wants to watch some TV. No, actually, maybe she wants to play some computer games. That seems to suit her better. I could also consider a pet for these two. Maybe a cat would fit. But I think I'm gonna hold off until Lakshmi has moved to university. Because then Trista is gonna have this apartment to herself. And maybe a cat or a dog could work better then. When she doesn't have her little sister living with her anymore. Yeah, she's done playing, so she's gonna have a bubble bath, apparently. That's nice. Oh, they got some money for discovering an unknown star. An unknown star. Cool. That was needed. Oh, speaking of that, actually, I think that they have bills to take care of. Let's look here. Bank online. Yeah, pay bills. So quite a lot of bills. So she's gonna have to do that before I forget. Yeah, so Lakshmi is tired and she wants to go to sleep, but I think that she wants to spend a little bit more time awake. She could, after all, and keep studying cosmetology. Just for a little bit before bed. Oh, another unknown star. Oh, Trista's really on fire tonight. Yeah, I think that she has to give up this now and go to bed. Trista is also getting tired, so I'm gonna send her in to pay the bills. Is there anyone she can chat with? Yeah, quite a lot of people. So maybe I'm just gonna have her like chat with a bunch of them to get to know some people. All of this should be townies. Looks like they have pretty similar faces. All right then. Now she knows some more people. Only having chatted with them, she has no idea if she's attracted to them or not. But yeah. I think I'm gonna try to prioritize other playables first. But you never know. Sometimes they don't have as much attraction to one another as maybe she has with the townie. So gonna have to see. Right, I think she wants to use the bathroom before she goes to bed, so she doesn't wake up in the middle of the night. All right, great. And that's where I'm gonna leave them. So that was the first family in downtown. Very exciting stuff. I think I've got a pretty good idea about their characters now. And I have something to go off of when I try to decide where Trista is going to end up in the town. But a lot of things are going to give as well when I've moved everyone in and they can get to know each other as well, because then I can get an idea of who her friends are going to be, who her romantic interests and things like that. And also when I start to develop the city with more community lots, I'm going to get an idea of what places she's going to like to go visit and so on. So Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm also looking forward to also figuring out Lakshmi's future, if she's going to go down the medical path with like plastic surgery and those kinds of things, or if she's going to go more of the stylist path. Either or could definitely work. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you get the same vibes that I do, or do you get something else from these girls? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, see you for the next one, for the next family. Take care. Bye.